tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
The gun.
Nigga, this is Black Jesus.
I'll say that's not right.
Come on, Karen Clark, she is. And I don't know about you, but I know you guys are tuning in to AFTERBUZZ TV. Hey, what's up?
Black Jesus is not like that. Is he always like this?
He's always like this. Hey, what's up? You tune into AFTERBUZZ TV for Black Jesus After Show, and I'm your host, Bamm Ericsen, and I want to introduce everyone on our panel today.
I'm Thaddeus Massey, and joining us today is...
Valenzia Algarin, a.k.a. Detective Dianne Vasquez, a.k.a. Popo Perm. Yes. Popo Perm.
Dianne, your hair is banging, girl. Your hair is banging. I love Slink. He's funny as hell.
Oh, God, he is. He's hilarious.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a pleasure watching you and just all the characters on the show. So we want to thank you for tuning in. And we have a lot that we want to discuss, so let's just go right into it. So the show opens up with Vic is missing a package of shoes.
Yes.
They're not slippers.
They're loafers.
Right.
They're loafers. Were they John Cavalli or something like that?
They were Joseph Canali loafers.
What'd you say, John?
I don't know. John Cavalli, Joseph Canali.
You don't know about fashion.
Yeah.
Right, my bad.
So the loafers. And so, of course, you know, he's like, slippers, you mean? What's going on? And so since the package, the package hasn't come, so he obviously goes to Fish, who's the
hoodlum of the building.
Who's a hoodlum.
Yeah.
You know, he's been to jail, so he automatically assumes that, you know, Fish has stole his shoes.
He calls him the convict.
The convict. And so then he goes to his house and he knocks on his door. Hey, you know, where are my shoes at? And then of course, you know, the shoes are not there. Did you notice between in the opening sequence? Oh, by the way, the name of the title of this episode is called
The Shit Heist.
Yes.
Ooh, I had a little.
That's what it was called.
I had a little church.
Right.
I had a little church in there.
It's called The Shit Heist. I love the title, but there was a lot of use of the word nigga. Did you?
It was, and you know, Aaron loves to say he doesn't use the word nigga. He uses nigga. That's they don't use the N word. There's a very big difference there.
I mean,
I don't know, do you hear it?
Yeah, but I think he was just trying to be realistic with it. It's just capturing
absolutely
the colloquialisms of the hood. I mean,
that's how we talk.
South Compton, that's people talk like that.
Yeah.
This is normal. He wants to make it as real as possible, and I just think he's just keeping it real. I think if you're watching the show and people saying nigga this, nigga that, you're not really thinking about it unless you're just utterly offended by the word.
Exactly.
If you're from the baby boomer generation, maybe because you're so sensitive to that word. But like this generation, I don't think anybody's really tripping about that.
It's part of our vocabulary, and Jesus is just talking our lingo, truthfully, you know.
Jesus, Vic, Fish,
Jesus.
they all
All of us.
all amongst each other. And then once Black Jesus gets there to pick up Fish, Vic asks Black Jesus about the shoes. And then he starts to like really get into it. Oh, you talking about those, you know, Italian shoes, this.
Man,
and then he
that
breaks it
box.
down in the box and he's like, nah, ain't seen it.
Right. That was funny.
I think it is funny because it's so funny how Vic, he's a non-believer.
But he believed him for that split second.
Yes.
You noticed that, right?
But you know, it's one of those things where there's this thing where, you know, people like to quote Bible scriptures for their own doing. So, you know, when it's in their favor, oh, you know, the Lord says it's come as you are, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Vic, I feel like Vic is one of those kind of characters where when it's convenient for him to believe in Jesus, then he will believe in Jesus. What do you guys think?
I think that's true because he well, you know, for me, I think he has an inner obstacle. I think he does know that is Jesus because when he said, I knew you would know that about my slippers, I mean my shoes, you know, right there it's very clear that you do believe that this is Jesus, you know. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Vic has gone through so much in his life that obviously him being like the landlord, like the Mr. Furley of this apartment complex, is like a step up from a lot of the things that he's experienced in life. So for him to think that Jesus could be right here in my presence, you notice he's a little bit older. He's experienced a lot. Like if you watch or you read the Bible or whatever, you notice that the Pharisees or the Sadducees or whoever were like the priests of the time who didn't believe Jesus was the Son of God. They probably had gone through so much persecution as being Hebrew or whatever that there's no way they would believe that Jesus or Son of God was like right here in their presence. And
So
I just
they've
feel
been
like
jaded?
I just feel like he's like really rough around the edges. I believe that he really wants some kind of serious proof that this is Jesus or that he is God, because he's always like, come on, you need to come up off the Jesus. You know, Charlie Murphy with the big pearly whites.
You really got him.
You know, that's how he talks, right? He's like, you ain't really Jesus Christ. When you gonna come up off this? Like, it's just like crazy. But he wants to, like, you're right, Valenzia. Like, he wants to believe, like, this little inkling of him, like, wants to believe, but he just can't.
But he just can't.
No.
I love how Black Jesus always says, "I swear on my pops."
That's where on pops. Yeah.
Look. I think that's brilliant.
I do too.
That's brilliant, because we say that about our parents. Like, look, I swear to my mom, I swear to my dad, and Jesus, I swear to my pops.
I swear my pops.
And we always reiterate that in the show. Like, you got to talk to your pops, man, because this ain't cool. So I think that's great that Aaron. I mean, there's a method to his madness.
Oh, absolutely. There's different, and then in the closing of the opening sequence, not only did he say he swore to his pops, and he also says that shoes does not make the man, which he also, vanity, and vanity was one of the themes of the episode, because Vic was looking for shoes, and then your baby, you gave him
Who was just here
Jordans.
last week?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed him.
Yeah, he was here last week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he gave a great interview.
Did he have the J's? He didn't have the J's.
He had some different J's on. I think he put yours in the case somewhere.
Oh, see. And he is vain. You are vain, Antoine. No,
we're going to get to all of that about working with Antoine and the rest of the cast. So then the show opens up now after the intro. So now the soul is no good. So now we're the Black Jesus and his homies, the disciples. They're all with each other. And we find out that the soil is no good. And so now they need fresh shit.
Shoot.
And so...
Mierda.
Yeah, and so Lloyd is in the back eavesdropping, because that's his job, and now the real cost for fertilizer is like $800, and so they don't have that because they have to pay off the Mexicans. So now
they already paid the Mexicans off for the $600.
But it's monthly. It's paying rent.
Yeah, they have to pay monthly, so they don't have any money, and so now they have to actually go to a horse stable
in Compton.
I don't think
people
now
realize.
that to me,
no, there's farms and horse stables in Compton. People don't realize that. It's very beautiful. Compton is gorgeous.
I can vouch for that only because I saw in another reality show that they were at a farm or something. Yeah.
There are farms. We farm in Compton.
Okay.
Yeah.
We.
Well, I mean, that's another show.
Okay. All right.
Yo, that was news to me.
Really?
Yes, farms in Compton.
There are farms in Compton. Compton is very beautiful. You should take a drive out there.
I've been there, but I just ain't been to that part.
Yeah, me neither.
A little deeper.
Okay.
A little deeper in.
So let's go into your character now. So Jason and Dianne are you guys had your first scene, and so you buy him these retro Jordans.
Yes, I bought him the retro Jordans because this fool finally got a job.
Valet parking.
Yes, and I think that's sexy. He doesn't appreciate that.
Wait, hold on 1 second. I valet park.
Do you?
Yes, I valet.
See?
I was parking last night.
You get to drive different cars.
You got a job.
You know, I mean, that's amazing.
All right.
Personally, ladies, valet parkers are sexy. So
let me tell you what I like about. Let me tell you what I like about this relationship between Dianne and Jason. She obviously sees something in him that he might not even see in himself, and I also like the fact that Jesus was like, "Yo, you belong with this girl." And what's crazy is, even though she doesn't believe in God, Jesus still thinks that they're supposed to be together. So maybe I think there's going to be an arc with her character where she comes around, because remember when they had Jesus locked up? What was that, first episode?
that's fascinating. You're saying that.
And then she checks her voicemail, and then the voicemail had nothing, and next thing you know, he pops up a message on there, and blah blah blah.
And she's shocked as hell.
Yeah, and she's really shocked. So everybody is getting seeds planted about Jesus. I think that she has an arc that's going to have her come around, and then she's going to see some things about why Jason actually hangs out with this so-called bum or the bums that you know she hangs out with or he hangs out with.
That's definitely fascinating. I think like every woman, we want our men to be amazing and to take control. I mean, me being a detective, I wear the pants in the relationship, unfortunately, for right now. So I'm trying to give him my pants. Wait, that's... that's bad.
Give him some cuffs.
Right.
Give him some cuffs.
Right.
But no, I see more in him. You know, Aaron likes to put it as well that, you know, this is Latinos and Black are finally together in a show, loving each other, helping each other out, which we do end up getting to that. There's nothing like that in any other show.
Right.
So they really need that Latino Black love, and that's what I think we're there for, to show that. And so I love that. When I first read about this character and Jason's character, I was like, yes, we need that in today's society. People need to see that love. That's me and Jason.
I thought it was also, I thought it was great that your character rewarded him with Jordans for just getting a job and actually working. And so,
Why is that?
How often do you hear about stories that a woman decides to buy her boyfriend Jordans for working? I mean, he's working now. He's
and those J's are like $300 some.
Right. And so clearly he hasn't been working long enough to get a check yet. I assume that this is like his first day on a job.
It is.
And so,
but he took a step.
But that's why I'm thinking new man, new shoes.
Yeah.
You know, new walk of life.
And Jason's theory,
new walk of life.
and Jason's theory is shoes make the man, which is totally opposite of what a Black Jesus is preaching.
Exactly, which is why the shoes get messed up, because shoes does not make the man.
Well, that's we're talking about shoes on both ends, because you know Vic ordered some shoes, and Vic is obviously, the shoes are making him, right? The shoes, like he's looking for these shoes. But they got lost. They did get lost, but you can understand his energy.
No, the shoes did not get lost. The
package hadn't come yet.
The package hadn't come.
But the thing is, his energy is, he needs those shoes in order for him to feel about himself the way he feels like will be a reflection of how he looks at himself. Like he needs those shoes. Like he doesn't feel like he's the man unless he gets these shoes. Jason is Jason. Jason made a move in his life based on surrounding circumstances. His girl was prompting him. He probably took a look in the mirror and was like, you know, I could get a job. He took a move and a step in the right direction for himself without the shoes. The shoes were a reward for taking a step as the man. So if that was more of like the man makes the shoes as opposed to Vic, the shoes making the man.
I mean, he didn't even want to wear the shoes. He wanted to put them in a plexiglass.
Exactly. He was
put him up on the mantle.
Right. So it's like completely opposite scenarios.
And it's also realistic because, you know, when we get, you know, nice, fine, expensive things, we like to preserve them.
Showcase them.
We can even go back to old people when they buy furniture and they like to put plastic on the furniture because they are afraid that it's going to get dirty.
We have the plastic.
And we have the same mentality. So it's like, you know, with shoes, we want to put it in a display case so that everybody can look but don't touch.
Latinos and blacks and Latinos. Can't we all just get along? We the same folks. We
really
are. We really are.
We really are. My mother still has the plastic, and
see,
even
does she really?
Oh, she does. And I mean, it's a part of our house. And even when you sit on our couch, you have to sit carefully. But there's plastic
and you can't sit back.
Nope.
Yeah, my Aunt Corrine used to have that. And I used to hey,
and then you get stuck on a hot day, and it's like, what?
Yeah, it's
mommy, take that off.
It's terrible. Or how we like to put the plastic bag when we get out of the cleaners. We love to keep it. So, but anyway,
going back to Black Jesus.
So going back to Black Jesus. So now we have Lloyd and Vic meeting, and Lloyd goes back to report to Vic saying, you know, that when he was eavesdropping, he heard nothing about the shoes.
Right.
And so now Vic makes a deal with him. Why don't you break into Fish's house? Well, how am I going to do that? Because I got the key, Negro, because I'm the manager. And so Vic is like, well, I think I'm going to need...
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous. I think I'm going to need a little bit more about that. And then they make an agreement that he will do it if he can stay 3 days in his apartment. What do you guys think about that?
Sleeping in his bedroom. In his bedroom.
What do you guys think about that?
It's like making a deal with the devil.
I thought it was a good deal, and I think that... I think that Lloyd actually negotiated properly.
Yeah.
I find these shoes. 3. I get to sleep in the bed for 3. I mean, you sleep on the street under a cardboard box. 3 nights. That's
well, he's
a
been
good
staying
deal.
on his couch for a few days too. I think it was.
I think it was one night.
It was one night.
It was one night. He got to sleep one night on the couch for. He did
for eavesdropping about.
That's right. Yeah.
About the garden or something. I can't remember, but it was an episode. It was last week.
It was last.
Yeah.
Was that last week or the week first week? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that was week 1.
No. Yeah, that was week 1.
That was week 1. He got to sleep on the couch. He was like, "Man, I guess you do a good job. I go ahead." And he threw the threw the blanket on him to let him sleep for.
It's like just one night, which showed a really sweet side of Vic that we hadn't seen.
But you can see that they're gonna. You can see they're becoming friends in a very odd way, in a very boss employee type way. They're becoming friends.
They are. Kind of. I mean, I think Vink is starting to like him.
Yeah, I can see the friendship developing, kind of, sort of, but that might be, I think that Lloyd is his like, it's like the conscience for Vic, because he's like, oh no, he Lord and Savior. He the Holy Ghost, the Holy of Holies, King of Kings, blah blah blah. That nigga ain't done shit for me. That's what he said. So he believes that he's Jesus.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
He believes that he's Jesus and he's the Son of God, but he just is not. He's like, he ain't done nothing for me. And there's a lot of Christians that are like that. And then there's some that are just non-believers altogether, which is what Vic is. But I think that Lord is gonna be like a call for Vic to maybe start believing a little bit. Maybe.
You got your poker face on.
I can't say certain things.
Okay, well, I know what we can discuss. Let's discuss now the restaurant scene with you and Jason, which I thought was a hilarious scene. Because,
so glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was really great. So I'm just going to open the floor with that. What did you think about the restaurant scene when they're trying to have a nice dinner?
I thought it was cool. We want to have a nice dinner. She's like turned on. That's the time, she's like,
I'm turned on.
Well, she's turned on because her man has a job.
That's true.
She's like, let's go have a nice dinner. Let's like commemorate this occasion. He has a job. I got us some shoes. We need to spend time together. So they went to have dinner. I just thought it was a great moment. I can like relate to those things. You want to spend some time with your significant other, and you go and like have nice dinner. To commemorate something that's nice. And this is like a turning point. This represents something much bigger for her than it does for him. That's why he's kind of like, yeah, baby, she wants to go out kind of thing. And she's just like, you got a job. I got him these Jordans. I know he's going to love the shoes.
Yeah,
and
he's finally changing.
Right.
He's the man. He's becoming the man that I always knew that he was going to be.
Exactly.
That's what I think when I see him and I see him in the new Jays. And I mean, he's like, it's everything that I always told my girlfriends, my mom, everything that I wanted in a man, is sitting across from me. And we finally get to share these moments and talk about my job, and maybe he can talk about his job. And then when I'm explaining things and I bend down, all of a sudden, behind me, Black Jesus, he just can't leave us alone. I don't know it yet.
And the funniest line is, you were like, "What's wrong, baby?" I think I just saw Luther Vandross. Oh, wait a minute. No, he did.
Yeah, it's like, what are you? And that actually upset a lot of people. Like, man, you did Luther wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Twitter, they're like, you did Luther wrong.
That's funny. It
was funny. And I was like,
I didn't see it that way.
No?
I didn't. I wasn't. I mean, it wasn't offensive to me.
Good.
I mean, he is dead. Right?
He is dead, thankfully. It wasn't really him.
Yeah, I mean.
But
I'm sorry, but anyway.
It was just some of the funny tweets.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're gonna give it to me on YouTube.
We love Luther, by the way.
We do love Luther.
I do too. Get Back to Love. House is not. I can break down all the songs, but anyway, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna just stop before. So Black Jesus is in the window.
Yes.
And you see, obviously, he's being disrupted by something.
Absolutely.
And so then Black Jesus is there. Black Jesus is not. He's not there. And so I like that whole aspect because Jesus, he's real. He is who he is. And so when it's for good doing, he does these miraculous type things. So I particularly like that, just to watch how it doesn't even, for Jason knows that he exists. So to even see him go back and forth, he's just like, oh man. So like he was really torn between trying to stay true to his girlfriend, but yet,
This is Jesus.
This is Jesus.
This is Jesus, yeah. And I think it's great, that scene as well, because it proved to the viewers that this is actually Jesus, because people were always wondering and asking and tweeting, is he really Jesus? Is he not? And the fact that he did that little beautiful magical thing, when I turned around, he disappeared. You know, when I looked back at him, he was back.
Right.
I just think that proved, like, yeah, this is the man of God right here.
I mean, he turned water into cognac, episode 1. I was, I was
people
for sure.
were still kind of wondering, you know, they were still wondering.
That's Jesus. Turn water into yak. That's the Lord thy God right there. That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go into now they're outside. So Jason says that he has to go to the restroom, and so now he's out with the crew. And I like the fact that Jason still stood firm. He was like, no, I'm not going. And they were trying to make it seem as if he didn't want to go because he didn't want to get his Jordans dirty. But I truly think that his character did not want to go because he was trying to stay true to his word for what he promised his girlfriend.
Absolutely.
What did you think?
No, I think so too. You know, the fact that they were trying to say, you know, she wouldn't even notice you're gone. Man, I'm having dinner with my detective girlfriend. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
First of all. So I think he was trying to be true to me and trying to start a new life with me, but still be true with his friends, you know, but they just, he's just trying to let them know, like, guys, tomorrow I'll hang out with you, but tonight it's about me and my girl, me and my woman, you know. But then there's those persuasions that friends do, unfortunately, that, you know, all guys fall for.
Well,
unfortunately,
I'll sort of, not necessarily because Jason did say, unless you and Pops can make a miracle for Dianne to disappear.
And he does that face like,
and then
like, for real though.
Like,
yeah, and so he does.
He don't call me out. My powers.
So I don't think that he was being tugged by his friends to go do something because he said he wasn't going to do it. I think it was more the miraculous move of Jesus, God, whatever you want to, that it took that actually for him to actually do it, because otherwise I don't think he was going to budge. And I think a lot of times we get stuck into, we always get put in situations where it's like, you know, do we go hang with the homies or are we with our women? And the homies, that was a very convincible thing about, you know, the Jordans. Oh, you don't want to get your Jordans dirty. That's actually true. We don't like to get our expensive shoes dirty. You know, you step on someone's shoes and literally we're ready to fight.
absolutely.
Okay, well, let me say this. I think that Jason appreciated the Jordans because his girl gave them to him, but I really think he cared more about his girl giving him the shoes, because even after the shoes got screwed up, he was tripping more about how is he going to explain this to Dianne. It really wasn't about, oh, y'all messed my Jordans up. It was more about his girlfriend, like how that was going to affect him and his relationship, not really about the Jordans, because the Jordans was a bonus anyway.
Good point.
And I also think that the whole situation with Jesus calling him and telling him, look, I need you to do this. You're the only one that knows how to drive a stick. Sometimes I just think on a deeper level, symbolically, God has a calling for people. And it's like, I need you to do something. And we resist and we end up doing it anyway, because it's like for the betterment of what God has planned. Sometimes it can seem inconvenient. Like at that moment, it was inconvenient for him to not to leave his girlfriend, because it's like, really right now I'm like in the middle of something that's really important. In his mind, that was really important, but obviously God has something more important planned for him.
But let me also ask this question. Remember, they're putting together a garden to sell weed.
Who said they're putting together a garden to sell weed? See, I think
it's more than that.
Go ahead.
I just think it's more. I mean, that is why they kind of started it. But in reality, they're you know, growing crops and they're trying to better the community and get the people together. And this is what we can do as a team, as a big family, I guess you would say, in Compton. So I think it's more than just the weed, which proves it when the weed doesn't grow. You know, it was never about the weed. Right. It was about getting. I mean, for me, it was about getting everybody together.
The community
the community garden. It's about love.
Right.
You know? And
it's about unity. I think it's about money with fish. And I think that's why we're getting caught up with about fish. But I don't think it's not about that with Jesus. Jesus, I don't think, has ever like, yeah, we about to get this money. He did say, you get money fucking with me. You get money fucking with me.
Which is the best line.
Right. That was hilarious. But I don't think he meant it like in the sense that we're going to sell weed and become big drug dealers.
No, because as the show goes, you see that everybody's minds change.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and that's not. I don't think that's ever his intention. I just think that fish, we associate and have these stigmas about weed, smoking weed, selling weed, making money off of weed, being drug dealers, whatever, blah blah blah. But Jesus has never really advocated towards that. If you really watch it, that's really all fish. Fish is the one that wants to grow weed
and boom,
yeah, they're the ones that and Miss Tootie. They're the ones that are on this.
Especially Miss Tootie.
Yeah, especially her, because she's about her money. Now, Jesus, I love you and all. About my money. She's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Miss Tootie.
We all love Miss Tootie. And so now let's go forward. So now that Jason agrees to go, and so now they go to the stable. And
the stable.
They go to the stable late at night in Compton so that they can shovel the shit. They need a certain amount. They go and they shovel it. And then Booney decides that they need lights. I didn't understand, why did they need lights to shovel?
Well, obviously we can see they're in the dark as far as they're in their perspective, but just set wise, and we have to be able to see what's going on. But they were in the dark. It's nighttime, so they can't see what they're shoveling. They're trying to see. So I mean, and of course it's nighttime. You want to be able to see something. If you have a little light, okay. I thought it was. Go ahead.
My favorite part of that whole scene was when Black Jesus goes and picks up the shit and smells it and just like he was, I was like, what are you doing? Who does that but Jesus? It's part of him. It's his flesh. I guess I don't know. This is his baby, and everybody else is just like, oh no, man, let's just get the work done. Let's get that in the truck and get out of here. But with Booney turning on the lights, it's true what Miss Tootie says. He messes up everything. He can't do anything right.
And we see that.
Yeah, the lights drop and there's a fire. Now, Jason refused to get out the truck. He was like, I was asked to drive, that's it. Do you think it was because he didn't want to mess his J's up? Or do you think that he just didn't want to shovel shit?
I think he didn't want to mess up his J's, because if he does, and it's like now he has to explain it to Dianne, and it just shows that he lied again, that he hasn't changed. I mean, that's just the way I feel.
Exactly. I mean, as far as he's concerned, he's not even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. I'm not even supposed to be here. So I'm just driving. That's it.
But the beautiful part of this whole scene, which I loved, is that at the end of the day, you still put your friends first and your family first, because when Booney was in trouble, what did he do? He jumped out and he took care of his friend. He didn't care about the shoes. He didn't care about the vanity, or he didn't care about anything else. He just cared about his friend, which is kind of a great message even for us out here, that we just need to always help each other out no matter what.
That's right. Have each other's back.
Yeah, have each other's back.
That was real love right there.
Real love.
Because he, he didn't think twice about
Didn't even think about twice.
He saw his boy was burning. He was on fire.
Yeah.
He jumped out the car and put the fire out.
That's what I love, is these little messages in Black Jesus that is just, they're so amazing, and I hope people get it.
Speaking of love, we have got to speak about iTunes, because they always show us love every week with over 20 million downloads a week. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to all the AfterBuzz shows that we have here at our network. Thank you for downloading, rate, subscribe, telling friends. Continue to do that, because this is how we have this great, wonderful studio that we have here, because you guys are so faithful with all the downloads that you guys give us here on AfterBuzz TV. So thank you again. iTunes, download, rate, subscribe, and please tell friends and family and everybody that you know.
5 stars.
Yes, and 5 stars. Okay, so continuing. So I really want to talk about the break-in with Lloyd.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
I really felt like John Witherspoon's. He completely.
He's a genius.
He's a genius. He's a genius. We obviously, but this was his episode. I feel like I felt like he stole the entire show.
Absolutely.
With this scene with him breaking into Fish's house.
Honestly, they just set the camera up and they just let him loose.
Oh, is that what they did?
Seriously, that's what you have to do with John Witherspoon. I mean, he's brilliance after brilliance after brilliance. And the whole potato scene.
I was crying.
He went in there. He said, "What did he say? This is a double taker or something."
Two times.
He said double hitter.
Double hitter. This is a double hitter. And then he leaves, but then he ends up going back, and that just had everybody on set dying, because we did not expect him to do.
But you know what's it's so funny, because I have moments like that when I eat something, and he can vouch. Like, I literally will sit and eat a whole box of cereal, right?
He is dying.
And I start off with just a bowl.
It was so realistic.
Then, and I was doing this actually while I was watching Black Jesus. I ate a bowl, and then there's just like this taste or feeling where you just feel like you need a little bit more to hold your stomach. Right. So then I went back into the refrigerator. I poured the milk and got more cereal. And then I'm watching, I'm laughing, I'm eating, and I still feel like I just have to keep eating.
So good.
And then the whole box was gone. I do it all the time.
You know what's funny when he said he ate the whole box of cereal, I immediately thought of Bamm. Immediately.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he's like that.
What's your favorite cereal?
A box of cereal be going like that. You better lock up your pantry.
Captain Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, and right now I'm eating all of the checks.
All the
He
junkiest
said all of the
junk.
checks.
Yeah, all the checks.
junkiest of
They
junk.
have like five flavors out, and they're all on sale. So I
You
literally.
are so passionate.
Yeah, I love cereal.
Ridiculous.
but back to Lloyd. So he breaks in, and then the first thing he does is he opens the fridge. He takes a beer. Then he sits the beer down, and then of course he goes and gets the macaroni and cheese. It was so good. He goes back, and then he gets another serving. And then what I also liked
He washed it down a little bit with some
He washed
beer.
it down.
Then he went back.
It was the
like,
potatoes.
oh,
It was the
good.
potatoes.
It was the potato salad.
Yeah,
potato
potato
salad.
salad. And then what I liked about the whole entire scene, after they go back to the stable, then they go back to him. Now he is completely drunk and he's full. You got
And
rap,
naked.
Yeah, and naked. You got the rap music blasting, and he's sipping and he's eating. You see hot dogs on the foil paper. Like
mess.
he's literally going in.
It wasn't he laying back
Hard.
like he was on a cross? Like wasn't he laid back like
Yeah.
his arms out? Wasn't he laid back like that?
Yeah.
And then
Like,
he
it was kinda like,
and then after he finished eating, then he goes and sits on the man's.
Oh, this is before he's naked, yeah.
Before then he goes and sits on the reclining chair. Then he turns on the TV. Now he has 2 beers in his hand. He's completely full and drunk. Completely
And
happy and dancing and just everything. And he puts tape on his forehead. That scene was hilarious.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
it was.
It's what we do, especially if we're ever drunk. Not that I've ever been drunk, but what was that one time
Recently.
in Vegas?
That one time
I remember
in
a
Vegas.
bush, and that was it. That was my big moment.
You better
No,
talk
but-
about that after we wrap.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, we'll continue on with this scene. Then we have now Fish and Black Jesus now coming up the stairs, and they know the house is broken in, and so Fish pulls out his
Marble gun.
The famous marble
like
gun.
he's ready to shoot somebody, and boom, Lloyd is on the floor naked in his drawers,
In a food
passed
coma,
out,
as you call it.
Yeah, in a food coma.
And he's mad as hell.
He's mad as hell.
Fish
He
is-
was like, I just bought that peanut butter.
Right.
And we've all had that moment where, you know, when you just buy something and someone eats it and it's just like, you don't.
And you're probably thinking about eating it
Yeah.
when you get home, and then when you get there, it's gone.
Right, because they had, they worked all night, and, Black Jesus already said, they ain't had no weed to smoke, he's hungry. So they're ready to go in for the kill and just eat and just have a good night. And your food's gone. It's almost like that moment in Harlem Nights when the Louise talks about, I have my mouth all ready for orange juice, and then there's no orange juice left.
Right.
That's how Fish was feeling. Fish had that moment where it's like all his food is gone. And not only that, but it's from Lloyd, who is the local bum.
So he's stank.
Yeah, the house had to stink like crazy.
He's just, oh my god.
But again, the message of it all is, I loved it when Jesus said it's about forgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he wanted to throw him down the stairs.
Oh, he wanted to throw him in the dumpster. Forget the stairs.
Right. He was like, don't kick him. No, don't kick him. Don't kick him.
Put him where he belongs.
He's kicking the poor old man. Fish.
I don't know.
Convict.
I have to say that I kind of empathize with Fish.
Actually, I do too.
If a bum was
Did
up in
you?
my house,
Yeah, I mean,
whether I know him or not, all up it, I'd be like, oh no, somebody, Lord help me, please.
You want to kill him.
Oh my gosh, it'd be all bad for the bum, for the homeless guy. It'd be all bad for him.
See, but you don't know what he was probably very hungry. He hasn't experienced this in a long time. Some fun.
That's true.
So
That's
you gotta
Valencia,
think about that.
if someone you knew in your neighborhood broke into your house and ate up
about to go
all
there.
your
He's
foods,
about to go there.
and I bet you cook real good, don't you?
Oh, well.
You can throw down?
What? Come come on now. I cook that Dominican food real good.
So if the local bum or somebody broke into your house, passed out in your underwear,
okay, I'd be a little upset. Okay. I would be a little. I wouldn't want to kill the person, but I'd be a little upset. I mean, I might kick him a few times.
She'd just tap with her feet like, wake up. Like,
no, I'd be upset. I mean, okay, I understand where you're getting at.
If you knew him.
Yeah. Oh, if I didn't know him, I'd go crazy. I'd want to kill him.
So you'd be worse if you knew him.
I'd try to defend myself.
Yeah. Right.
But if I knew him, it's like, damn, I'd be pissed off. I'd probably go through all that. But then I'd say like, well, he clearly needed this more than me.
Yeah.
But that would be after the fact.
But the thing I thought about is that fish is clearly on a budget. So it was probably like all the fresh groceries that he had like allocated for like a month.
He just went shopping.
He probably he said he just went shopping, right?
Just went shopping.
So he's not like, he doesn't have money. That's why he's on his weed thing. Like, we got to grow weed so we can make some paper. Like, he's probably on EBT or something. Like, who knows what fish, he just got out. He's a convict. And he's like on food stamps. He probably is. He's like, look, that's my money that's my food for until next month. It gets re-upped.
Yeah, but Jesus makes it clear that you have to think beyond yourself. And you have to forgive.
That's true.
He does do that, and that's what we love about him.
That's why I know how hard it was for fish not to beat the living, out of Lloyd.
And Black Jesus even mentioned about how St. Peter would never punch you, punch your ticket, talking like that. So, it has a lot of great messages where, Black Jesus always likes to remind people. There's always several messages.
He likes to keep it positive.
Yeah.
Oh, he tries at least.
He tries to.
Who, Black Jesus?
Yeah.
I think he keeps it positive all the time.
Yeah.
Because even when they got shook down by the Mexicans, then, he still gave up the money. Even they did a drive-by on him. And, they were in the lot and they shook him down, extorted him for the money. It's like, he still...
Oh, you mean with the white boys?
No. I'm talking about with the gangsters.
Oh, yeah, with
the
that
Mexicans
even with the white boys, he gave the money
he gave the money back. Yeah,
even with that.
Exactly. He said they needed it.
Yeah.
So, he's still... I like how he's... Like, they say Jesus was, man and God all wrapped into one. It's like you can see the nature of him as man, but then the overwhelming sense of his duty as God just always comes through. Like, even after he took he slung the slingshot.
Oh, the rock.
And hit Trigger upside the head.
He still healed him.
And he still healed him.
Yeah.
He did.
He still healed him. Even though he was mad. Like, you ain't come over here, you might hurt somebody. Like, Jesus was pissed. Like
scolding his child.
Right. Like, how are you going to come over here shooting somebody and killing, trying to kill, trying to really hurt somebody? But he still, healed them and still gave them the money and just still took... It's almost like...
He forgave them.
It's almost like turning the cheek, so to speak. He turned the cheek, but, he's compelled to be compassionate and compelled to love with an open heart.
And he knows we make mistakes, so he always forgives us.
There's two other scenes before we go into our little special segment with you.
Oh.
When they were at the community garden.
Community Gordon.
You got to say it like that.
You got to say it like that.
Do it.
I can't. you put me on the spot.
Gordon.
But they were,
Shout out to Slink.
Hey!
Slink is funny.
David was Jason was really conflicted because the Jordans was messed up, and I really like Trayvon's character played by Andrew because because he comes trying to fix the Jordans and he runs and he trips and his face lands right on the dookie.
And the Jordans go back in.
And the Jordans go back in. So. And now they're having this big conversation about, Booney's like, well, just say you got robbed. And then Mag is like, well, no, I would never date a guy who's, who got robbed the first time they were in Jordans. They're going back and forth. And so then we go from there to the final, to your final scene where you guys have the conversation where you're telling a story about why you had to miraculously work.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go and tell the story about how there was horses that was now
expensive
horses that were in the community because Black Jesus forgot to lock
And
it.
it's funny because it seemed like he did, but for some reason it still
opened
as
up.
he walked away.
Opened up. Yeah. So, do you think that was on purpose?
You know, I was wondering that myself. I was like, does that, I mean, was God mad at at Jesus for his own son? Does Jesus make mistakes too? You know, but I don't think that there is a mistake. You know, Jesus does not make mistakes. So I think it might have been done on purpose because, again, I think there's a method to Jesus' madness as well. You know, by releasing the horses, and maybe he knew that's a way that Dianne will probably change her views later on down in the show, if that happens.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't know.
I felt it was a little symbolic. Can't figure out why, but I felt like there was a reason why he left the gates partially open for them to get out. Just my opinion.
Well, I think that when it comes to Jesus being perfect, quote unquote, obviously I think that it's going to serve a greater purpose somewhere in the story. Anyway, but when it comes to perfect, I think that he meant to close the gate. I just think that when it comes to Jesus being perfect, it's not like, and I mentioned this before, it's not like he goes to the free throw line and he shoots shoots the ball 10 times, he makes every one. I think Jesus being perfect means that he's perfect in his heart and how he deals with people, how he works with people. Not perfect in every sense, like he wouldn't trip over a rock or something like that. I don't think he's perfect like that. I think we're conceptualizing perfect the wrong way. I think it means spiritually perfect, like his intentions, his motivations, like his agenda is perfect in every way. He never is not jealous or envious or never intends to harm anyone. He only wants the best for everybody at all times. That's what I think he's perfect. I think just doing stuff like, random things that a man would do, I don't think he's perfect in that sense. I think he's perfect, like pure of heart.
Agree. Me too.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So when he closes the gate, it didn't close like, okay, he's still human. He's still a man. Like, it didn't close. Okay. So, and who says the gate's not perfect? He didn't make the gate. Man made the gate.
That is true.
Very, very true. The shoes are delivered. Typical. The UPS guy decides to throw the box over the gate. He was like, I'm not going through all that. Lloyd finds the shoes, realizes what it is. He goes into Vic's house, put the shoes on his nasty feet.
But he's happy.
Stank.
Again, going back to shoes, he feels. Do you notice
like
how
he
sat up? He felt like a new man because he had new clean shoes.
And so Vic comes in and is like, those are the shoes. And Lloyd is very smart. So Lloyd decides to pretend that he was playing a trick on Vic, saying that he got the shoes from Fish. I like Lloyd's character because Lloyd will do anything and everything he can to stay above water.
I don't know why he would blame it on Fish though. Like, he should have said he found them.
Well,
the bottom line
didn't
was
want to get in trouble.
I think because you remember.
The deal wasn't for him to find the shoes, not to find them, get them off of Fish. But it was for him to get the shoes, and he got them.
But his job is to eavesdrop on the clan and family. So as long as he now has, Vic thinking that Fish took his shoes, it can prolong his stay, more food, money, cereal. It can prolong whatever he needs to.
He can play the game.
Yeah, he can play the game well. So I thought that was great for him to blame Fish.
He can yo-yo.
He can yo-yo Vic.
Yo-yo Vic. And how else would he would explain these shoes on his feet? Because you notice when he said that, he kind of took a moment like, oh shit, these are really his shoes.
Right.
So that's when he was like, yeah, man, he's trying to get one past you.
Yeah. Then once Vic realized, okay, and then starts blaming it on Fish, he's like, all right, I'm going to now go take my 3-night stay. He said, how many, what does he say?
What's the thread count on these sheets?
Yeah. What's the thread count?
And Vic's face
was classic.
His face was classic because he was looking at his shoes, and the minute he realized, he's like, again, that's why I feel like it's like selling your soul to the devil because you got what you wanted, and now he got what he wanted.
And he got what he wanted.
I mean, that was the deal.
Yeah, that was the deal.
He was willing to let him sleep in his bed for 3 nights for some.
Over vanity.
What are they called? Canales?
Yeah, Joseph Canale.
Was it Canale or Cavalli?
You know what's funny?
Canale?
That my father actually called me and said, I have those.
Wow.
Really?
He was so excited when he saw that it was on.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I told you those shoes are...
They're amazing.
They're amazing. Those are loafers.
Loafers.
Slippers.
They're not slippers.
You just slide your foot in.
Just slide your foot in. Yeah.
They're like pillows.
Like house shoes. That's what Booney said. Like house shoes.
House shoes?
Right.
I want to get into to you as an actress and you on the show. What was the audition process like for you?
Oh, it's funny. I'm actually a very, very spiritual person. And a few weeks before the audition came to me, I had written down, those little visionary lists that you make, that I've always wanted to play a detective or a cop or something. And then this came in 2 weeks later.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very wild how that happens. So it is true. It's pretty powerful. Put it out into the universe, guys. The first thing I saw, Black Jesus, the name. Wow. Okay, this is different. This is going to be groundbreaking. I knew from the get-go. I still didn't know Aaron was part of it. I didn't know who was.
Oh, you didn't know?
Not yet, because we, with the breakdowns, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It doesn't really explain everything. But then I saw Diane's character, and I saw that it was a detective, and I said, yes, this is what I asked for. And then, we're very similar as well. I mean, I don't own a gun yet.
She said yet.
But we're both very driven, very passionate women. Worked very hard to get out from, to grow into what you want to be, pretty much, And then when I spoke to my agent, he tells me that Aaron McGruder is part of this. Forget it.
Yeah.
I knew I had to be part of this. I went in and I read with Slink first, and then the second time, a month later, I went in and read with Jason, with Antoine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And our chemistry was ridiculously on point. I knew I had to separate myself from all the other actresses, and we did a little improv, and I pulled out my handcuffs and, did whatever, and they laughed their asses off, and yeah, I got the call. And I was excited.
We are so glad you got that call.
Thank you.
Did you have to do multiple callbacks?
We did. I did two.
Okay.
I did two callbacks. The first time was with Slink, and then with No, I auditioned once, and then the second time was with Antoine.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're featured on 8 of the 10 episodes.
7.
Oh, 7. Okay.
7.
Is there anything else you can give?
Which is funny, it's my lucky number.
Oh, is it?
Lucky number 7.
It's a number of completion.
Can you give us
completion? Yeah.
Can you give us a little insight for what else we'll see with your character and with your relationship?
What can I give? I'm not sure what I can give.
Give us whatever you can without getting in trouble.
Yeah, what?
I mean, oh gosh, I don't know. I never talked to them about this. What can I give on the inside? Well, I mean, I think that there's definitely we become more passionate for each other. I think I give them ultimatums as we continue to go, and I think for me, I start to see Black Jesus in a different light as the show goes.
Okay.
As the season goes.
I predict, even this is kind of going early on predictions, but I predict for these two that they hit a sort of a bottom before there's a turning point for their relationship. And that's when she starts to look at Jesus in a different light. There has to be something that happens. Because this whole situation with this, obviously she got called into work and she's not aware of any of this as goes on. Something has to happen because they're actually investigating this whole horse thing, right? So obviously that's going to lead to something, and that's going to connect back to them, and she's going to make the connection, and it's going to be like a crossroads for her and Jason's relationship, I think, and then she's going to open her eyes up to Black Jesus.
It's funny. I love how it ended actually when I said, "Baby, you look really tired. What'd you get yourself into last night?" And he's like, "Oh, some shit." So it comes back around.
Yeah, it comes back around.
It comes back around. So literally some shit, and I find that out later on in the show. Which is very, very funny. Very funny when you guys see where this goes.
Oh, brother, I can't wait.
It is very funny. That's why I'm afraid. I don't want to give too much because it'll give it away.
Yeah, you gave us just enough.
I'll leave it at that as far as that is concerned.
Yeah.
What did your family think about you being a part of such a controversial show?
Oh, they were excited. They flew out here and were on set with me.
Really?
Most of the time, yes. That was really this was really a special moment for me because my father has always been sick and he's been battling cancer for quite some time, back and forth, and he never thought he would be here to see me grow and succeed, and he's still here, and he's strong, and he came out, and his favorite all-time character is John Witherspoon, and that moment when John walked in the room and he was like, "Oh, hey," and my father just lit up. I mean, that was precious for me. So they're excited. They're telling everybody about Black Jesus, and you know, just picture two little Latinos, 70 and 66, being like, I see mommy, and they said, oh, Black Jesus. Like, it's funny. It's funny to, you know, they love it.
Nice.
They've never been negative about it. They've always been supportive of my career.
And then what about working with the rest of the cast?
It's a stellar cast. My goodness. I mean, Angela Gibbs, John Witherspoon, Charlie Murphy, and, you know, just Callie Hawk. The list goes on and on and on. Slink Johnson, hey? Community Gordon. They, you know, they teach me a lot. I come from the dramatic world, you know. It's I haven't done much comedy, and I've been trying to learn and to be part of a cast that has worked in comedy for ages, who I've watched growing up. It's a dream come true, and it's a blessing. And yeah, they welcomed me with open arms, and we've just been playing. That's all it's about. That's what comedy is. You know.
I noticed, so technically this is almost like your big break in a sense, because you've had reoccurring on a couple episodes, and you've been like guest co-stars and one day players, but you know, you're a regular cast member.
Yeah.
So how does this feel to finally have that moment, that break where
for me, especially to be part of a groundbreaking show, especially on a network like Adult Swim, I mean, what's so great about them is that...
With amazing ratings.
Oh, amazing ratings. I mean, they're a platform for unique voices like Aaron McGruder, you know? So this is huge for me to be part of something that is very positive. At the same time, we have those critics, you know, that they're coming from either side. So it's like almost like be careful what you wish for, because I'm getting the love over here, and then I've gone some, you know, hurtful, kind of crazy things. So I had to learn how to deal with both at the same time. In my very first big break, you know? So this is a blessing in disguise. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better, or a better show, or a better network.
There's this thing on Twitter called Bach. I'm just saying.
You're a funny guy.
I mean, that was good. That was a good jab.
Thank you.
Where's my gun? Where's my gun?
I'm just saying, so when people come at you crazy on Twitter.
No, but you know, it's a learning experience. That's what this is all about, you know, and I wouldn't change it.
Well, let me tell y'all, not to cut you off, but let me tell you, AfterBuzzers out there, that you're going to be seeing a lot of this young lady in the business in the near future. More so than she even knows, or whatever she has lined up, because you know when somebody has real talent based on how they interview, how you meet them in person, what their energy and what their attitude is like, and the light they shine. Like on camera, you really come off as this hard, like this hard core, like, wow, you really would have to like manhandle this one right here. How does Jason deal with this? Like, you really like, that's how Diane's character, that's how she seems. Like, you really have to be like a tough cookie to deal with her. And then you come in the room, you know, Valenzia, and you're just so bright and light and warm and just like, you know, that's how you know she's got talent.
Thank you.
Because she's not anything like that. You know, if she would have come in here acting the same way, I'm like, this girl can't act. She's just being herself. She's just being herself. But you're not, you know, I'm sure you're pulling from something somewhere, but like most actors do. But at the same time, you really have this light air about you.
Thank you.
That's not like that character at all. So yeah, you guys need to look out for this one.
Thank you so much.
You have a horror film coming out.
Yes.
The Thing Inside. Let us know about that.
The Thing Inside. Johnny Rodriguez is the director, creator, producer. It's a lot like The Exorcist.
Okay.
Fantastic, scary, very freaky. You never really see what the monster is, but it actually goes within you, and you can see it through the person's eyes, and it tears you up from inside. And it's actually based. It's going to sound very funny, but it's based on a true story.
Okay.
It's based on real life experiences, not mine.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, when he said that, it actually scared the hell out of me, because I was like, "What? What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
Based on real life.
But it is based on real life experiences, and I'm very excited. We are in the middle of shooting that, and hopefully this time next year it should be out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then tell us about In Full Bloom. Well, that's with Stacey Evans.
Yeah, Stacey Evans. This is her pilot presentation. It's been a 10-year in the making thing for her. I mean, she's always worked with her brother.
Her brother.
Yeah, and
Bentley Kyle Evans.
Bentley Kyle Evans on Love That Girl, which
you'll be on next week.
Next week at 10 o'clock, right before Black Jesus on TV1. And you'll see a whole different character when I do that. but a whole different
that girl?
character. Yeah, I love that girl.
Are you ratchet and ghetto?
No.
Okay.
But I could just say she's a little bipolar.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
there might be a little Gemini in her, which I am a Gemini, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah. I'm on the cusp though, so I don't know what that
Gemini
means.
and Leo Cuspo.
Love that girl on TV One.
Love that girl on TV
Yeah.
One. So yeah, In Full Bloom is another romantic comedy. So yeah.
And who's some of the cast members that you're working with for In Full Bloom?
It's a lot of new up and comers as well. Yeah. So you'll get to see them do their thing, and I'm actually guest starring for In Full Bloom.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Random little
Oh gosh.
little thing.
I'm nervous.
You were born with 3 teeth and 1 gray hair.
See, get it
2
right.
gray hairs.
Get
Two
it
gray
right.
hairs.
Get it right. No. See, I was
Teeth
born.
and 3 gray hairs.
I was born with my wisdom teeth coming out
Mm-hmm.
and the 4 front teeth already coming through and 3 gray hair.
So that's what, 7 teeth?
That's what we call
6 teeth.
They called me Familia Chiva, which I was part of the goat family when I was really a pretty child. I was beautiful when I came out.
Wow.
But you know what? The
The pearly
doctors,
whites.
my mother said the doctor looked at me and said, this one's going to be special, clearly. You know, and my mom was in labor for 42 hours, so I must have been stressed the hell out.
42 hours?
42 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. They brought a priest in and everything to pray over us. I think Black Jesus was there. He
Yeah.
picked me from the minute I was born.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a
That's
Isn't
a
that
long-
fascinating?
that's a script in itself.
And that's a long labor period, too.
That's
It
extremely
is.
long.
It is.
42 hours is like...
42 hours. I
almost
thought
2
she
days.
was lying, but no, I spoke to the doctor who
Your
actually
mother,
delivered me.
she's a strong woman.
She is. She is. And I'm actually 12 years younger from her, so I was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to even be born. They didn't plan me.
Okay.
I like to let them know that I'm the best mistake they've ever made, but... I mean, you know.
Definitely
Well,
gonna keep my eye on this one. Teeth, 3 gray
Hi,
hair.
Mommy. I
At
know.
birth. Man.
I would have
oh,
tried to
man,
put
oh,
my
man.
child back if I ever saw that come out of me.
I know. I would have been like, what the?
What is this?
Oh, hell no.
And I can't believe I just said that on AfterBuzz.
Yo.
you know what?
You get
Listen,
it first. The exclusives right here.
That's
AfterBuzz
right.
TV, baby.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
That's right, Phil. Give us that shout.
Let's go into predictions and let's before we wrap.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, well, obviously, Valenzia can't say anything or much. She told us enough of some foreshadowing, but I did give a little bit about Jason and Dianne, what's going to happen with those two. I think that Lloyd is going to come at him and Vic are going to come. They're going to start butting heads at some point. Because it's kind of light and fun right now. He's like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. But I think through that, this whole like him paying Vic and making these deals with Vic for comfort or for some kind of reward is gonna get deeper and deeper. And what he is gonna ask of Lloyd is gonna become more and more serious to a level that he's not willing to turn on him. And then maybe he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And then maybe he eventually does something to Judas him out. I don't know, but I think they're gonna butt heads. They're gonna seriously come to terms. It's gonna get serious.
Lloyd and Vic.
Yeah, it's gonna have to get serious because it's all like whatever right now, but then it's gonna get more serious because Vic is already talking about punching Jesus in the face. He's already talking about calling the cops. Like Vic has like malintent towards Jesus, like for real. Like he feels like, man, you taking advantage of these guys over here. Got him, you taking, like he really feels like he's taking advantage of these cats. Like he really is not. He's anti-Christ. He's anti-Christ. So that's what I think.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, and I can't say why I disagree with you on that, but I'm gonna go elsewhere. I think that
I still think Lloyd's gonna eventually sell him out, but I think that him and Vic are gonna butt heads.
I don't think they're gonna butt heads. I think Lloyd is gonna ride this thing out the entire first season. He's gonna ride it out, and he's going to through this whole thing that they're trying to conspire, they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna become kind of friends in a very odd couple-like way.
Okay.
And then, as far as you guys' relationship, I think I see like marriage, but maybe like season 2. I see like some kind of marriage, and something like happens before you guys get married. But I see marriage. Just what I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Marriage.
But Valenzia, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please let everyone know where you can be found on social media and everything else.
Absolutely. On Twitter, it's V Algarin, and on Instagram, V Algarin7, and on Facebook is Valenzia Algarin fan page. Valencia spelled with a Z. It's a little bit more Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So.
And please don't forget to check her out next week on
Love That Girl.
Yes.
On TV1.
Yes.
Love That Girl on TV1.
And Black Jesus.
And Black Jesus.
On Adult Swim.
11 p.m.
That's right.
Go
You
ahead.
can find me on all social media at Club Thaddeus, CLUBTHADDEUS, and GQJedi.com.
And you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here on AfterBuzz TV for Black Jesus on Adult Swim. Thank you so much for being our special guest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Time.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.